If you think back over the last 25, 30 years of the great moments when it comes to our game, it's his voice that is wrapped around it.
Marshall skips away, Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside, now inside. Richards pursued, he pushes Jensen away. Pat Richards has scored a magnificent try. Length of the field stuff. Down the blind, Andrew John. Inside for Albert. Albert will score. Newcastle have won the grand final.
We played Canberra in '94 and Brett Mullins just tore us to bits. I just remember him screaming, "Mullins, Mullins."
And now Mullins opens up again. Oh, look at him go. He beats O'Davis on the outside. And away he goes again. Brett Mullins scores his second 90-metre try. How good is this bloke? Here goes Mullins again. Mullins gets his third try and 16 for the year.
Well, there's a try actually I scored. It was on an Anzac Day and I went through and Rabs, in his Rabs voice, said, "Age shall not weary them."
Now Fittler. Puts on the step, goes right through, puts on the step again. Oh, go Freddie, that was magnificent stuff. Well, age shall not weary them.
Here's a part of our memory and our mind when we think of the game that has given us so much. Better than anybody else is his range. He knows when to be low, when to go high, but he leaves himself that little bit. If there's the ultimate excitement, he can go high again.
Floats the pass for Renoff. Renoff down the touchline. Beats one. Gets it in field. Hancock gets it on. Queenslander coming back. Darren Smith for Langer. Langer gets it away. Here's the big fella. Gets the pass on. Coyne goes for the corner. That's not a try. That's a miracle. Queenslander in front now.
He's the best. The one thing about Rabs is I've never heard him be negative on a player. It's quite an art, given he says so much during a game. I think that's what sets him apart from everyone.
It looks to me as it's taken the steelwork. This is a horror movie. Wow. What else can this grand final provide?
Rabs, what do you call that haircut? If you went to the hairdressers, you said to the hairdressers, what would you say?
I'd just say, scare me. By a boarding house scrape of butter, it's only just got inside the post.
I don't get it. A boarding house scrape of butter.
You poor thing, I've been using it for about 50 years.
He's an unusual individual. He's afraid of the dark heights. I flew with him once to the Gold Coast, and he's a terrible flyer. And he used to have a Game Boy that kept him sane. And I have to admit, I'm not proud of it, but as he was putting his bag up his top, he put his Game Boy down. So I leaned across and took the batteries out and gave him back the Game Boy. And we were about to take off, and he started looking at it and started hitting it, and beads of sweat started to come down here. So I was going to hang on to them for an hour, but I handed him back across to him and said, "Mate, I can't do this to you." So he's an acquired taste, but we've all acquired it.
He's just the voice of rugby league. Whenever I watch rugby league on the television, it's got to be Rabs as the commentator.
Will it be a perfect storm or a fairy tale come true?
The grand final stands out, the Cowboys grand final for myself. So yeah, it's when you've got someone that knows so much about the game and has got the voice of rugby league, it's quite special.
He hits it, he's got it! He's got the field goal! He's got the premiership!
If a player knows that Ray Warren's voice is around his performance, then he's been on one of the biggest stages.
The grand final's underway.
He is the most important person in rugby league. To me, he is what big games are. It's our grand finals, our state of origins. He's the voice of our game, and it'll be a sad day that he moves on.
Got to stay here and call the game with me.
I love you dearly. I love the cricket ground. I love rugby league, but that's it. I am not staying here to call the game.
Don't walk off, Ray.
I'm off.
Don't leave
and
me.
Taking the binocular.
Don't leave me.
I'm going.
He's a grumpy old man.
I'll second that.